Welcome to Abbey Road Studios. Here we are at studio number 1, and I've got the most important question for you right now. Digital piano versus acoustic piano versus keyboard. Which one should you go for? Well, do you know what? In all honesty, there is no right answer, but there are 3 things you should absolutely consider. Number 1, what budget? That's probably the top of the list, because quite frankly, if you have a budget of, I don't know, £85,000, you might want to get yourself one of these, a Steinway Concert Grand, all 9 foot of it. Number 2, forget about the budget, but what type of music do you want to play? If you're going to do something, I don't know, like a bit of Rachmaninoff, then you'll definitely want an acoustic piano, and ideally a grand piano. But there is another thing to get, of course, and that's an upright piano, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the thing is, if you're not going to play some Rachmaninoff or Chopin or Bach or Beethoven or any of those sort of people, then maybe you want to play something more poppy, like Elton John. In that case, a Steinway Concert Grand piano may not be the best thing, and you might want to go for a digital piano or a keyboard. So that's number 2, what type of music you're going to play. And number 3, what space do you have? Now, you may be really lucky and have the room the size of a mansion where you could absolutely fit in this beautiful piano. But I probably doubt it. So if you're tight on space, you're going to want to get an upright piano or even a digital piano or maybe a keyboard. So those are the 3 main considerations. So now let's figure out which one is going to be best for you. So what is the difference between a digital piano and an acoustic piano? Well, that's the first question, which I can answer quite easily. The acoustic piano, whether it's an upright or a grand piano like this, of course, is acoustic. There is no electronics, no digital elements. It is a traditional piano. And there is nothing better than a traditional piano if you're playing some sort of classical music. The digital variety, the digital piano, is precisely that. It's one that you can turn the volume down, put your headphones in, play away to your heart's content, and you don't need to disturb anyone else but yourself. Does it play as well as a real acoustic piano? No, not really. It gets quite close, to be honest with you, and they're much cheaper, much smaller to put into your room, and they're perfect for certain scenarios where you need the quiet time or you need the small instrument. But if you have the space and if you have the money, there is nothing like an acoustic grand piano. So what is the difference then between a digital piano and a keyboard? Well, that's a really easy one to answer. Digital pianos are electronic versions of this. They are not designed to have 1,000 sounds. You can't really play the saxophone on it or the guitar on it or a flute on it. They're really just designed as an electronic form of a piano, whereas a keyboard, on the other hand, is not there as an electronic form of a piano. It's there to make all sorts of weird, wacky and wonderful things. And you remember back in the 1980s, all those crazy synthesizer sounds that came out? Well, that's a keyboard. Its purpose is to experiment with sounds, and you can create almost any sound out of it. Does it feel like you're playing a piano? No, it doesn't, absolutely not, because you see, on a piano, you have all of these hammers inside, you've got weighted keys that spring up, you've got a whole mechanism which makes it feel like a piano. You just don't get that in a keyboard. And what's more, you don't need it either, because you're not pretending to play a keyboard. You do get certain varieties of digital pianos which have similar sort of actions, but honestly, if you want to experiment with sounds, go for a keyboard. If you are struggling for space or you need to be able to play the piano but in silence with some headphones, go for a digital piano. But if you have the money and if you have the room, go for a high quality upright or a nice big grand piano. So that is the difference between an acoustic piano, a digital piano, and a keyboard.